the first Raw is always an important time because some old fans, and I don't know any old fans, I'm just saying, like to see if they make a New Year's resolution, they try to watch wrestling again. And I'm not saying this is why they need to go all out, but they want to see if it's good, and I think they might be impressed. I'm not exactly sure. Also, this is also the time of year, the Royal Rumble. You really got to get some guys noticed on Raw, and they did that a little bit. They got some guys there that usually aren't there, and whether you don't like them or hate them, they're gonna get some guys noticed, build them up to win the Royal Rumble, and they may not be guys you want to win, but the guys that they are building up. This, for this Raw, I found that they did a pretty good job getting some angles over, and they are keeping them a little bit interesting. Um, they're keeping, and I think they possibly patched a new angle, but I'm not exactly sure. That could have been just a one-time thing. I'm going to get to that more in this video. Now, this vlog started off today. This vlog was on January 7th, 2013. And it starts off with telling you what's going to happen, The Rock being there, the title match between Punk and Ryback, which CM Punk, by the way. Um, John Cena announcing his entry into the Rumble, all that stuff. So it starts out with John Cena comes out. He pretty much comes out and kind of talks about the Royal Rumble. He talks about the year he had last year, and he talks about the year he's gonna have this year. That's mainly what he did. He promoted the Rumble. He promoted the title match, The Rock coming back. That's really what he did right there. So then Dolph comes out and says that you have to worry about me because I am the greatest superstar. And he had a bruised eye, by the way. I should mention that. And then he says that he is going to enter the Royal Rumble. And I'm a little shocked that they had the Money in the Bank one to go in there, which makes me think I don't think Dolph's gonna win the Rumble because he's Mr. Money in the Bank. He can just get a shot anytime he wants until July something 2011. That's the way I look at it. Then Cena challenges him to a match. And, well, actually, Cena makes fun of AJ a little bit and all that stuff. Then Cena challenges Ziggler to a match. Big E Lansing accepts. They actually did have him talk. And they have a match. They didn't have a bad match. It wasn't like the greatest match they've ever had. They had better matches, but it wasn't a bad match to open the show. Cena versus Ziggler. Ziggler hit a lot of his moves, but he just couldn't get the job done. You see, this is what I'm wondering. This is why the fans look at John Cena as a heel. But at the same time, you got to get Cena is the face of your company. I think they wanted to have him win and build him up to having a good year. What I think is going to happen is and I think winning this match kind of helped him a little bit. Ziggler would hit the zigzag, the super kick, the jump, that DDT, that jumping DDT he does. Then Ziggler went for the sleeper hold. Well, he got the sleeper hold on Cena. Then Cena got out of it, but the referee got out. Well, the referee was knocked out. Then Big E Lansing came down because he was there like in the beginning, but he got ejected because AJ and Big E Lansing got involved too much. So then they got ejected. Big E Lansing came out and hits that move that he's been doing to Cena and Miz lately. Then Ziggler tries to and then he puts Ziggler on Cena and he doesn't win there. Then Cena hits the FU for the win. It was fine. You're gonna get. I mean, Cena's got to win some. Like he's got to win. He hasn't won a match. He hasn't won a match in a little while. So what I'll have to say there. They wanted to get him. I think they wanted to put him over in the beginning of the year. Good show. They wanted to start off with Cena. Then we get Eve Torres defending the Divas Championship against Caitlyn. We see these divas have so many matches. You can tell they have no idea what they're doing with the Diva division. It's the same divas having matches. And by the way, when I was actually thinking about when was the last time they had a new debuting diva. I think the last one was probably Karma. They haven't had a new diva. Well, actually, I think actually it was Cameron, but I don't really count that because she doesn't fucking wrestle. What the fuck's the point? You have divas, use them. Get new divas if you have to. Like at least with TNA, they are utilizing their divas. They don't have the same divas have a match every month. It seems like for the past, I want to say, hold on, September, October, November, December, January, 5 months, the only people that are having matches are them, and they face each other. It's bullshit. And then I know you want to keep the feud going, but just give the title to Caitlyn so we can just move on. Let me explain something to you. I honestly don't give a crap, actually. I'm not going to explain it. But what's the point of having a feud going? Okay, the first time Eve gets disqualified. Well, actually, Eve already beat her at Survivor Series, too. What the fuck? I don't understand. Then Caitlyn does win by count out, though. Then we get a WWE.shop.com ad. No, this wasn't the one out. Then we get a SmackDown ad. It advertises the 20th anniversary of Raw, which I think is next week, and they probably are going to have a bunch of legends on that show. Maybe announce that they're going to be in the Rumble. I think we'll have Taker on that show, Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think definitely will be on that show. We're going to get a bunch of guys on that show. Then Santino Marella's backstage, and he's talking to Ricky Steamboat about matches that he's had before. And then Wade Barrett comes up because they're talking about the Intercontinental Championship, so I was expecting Wade Barrett. He comes up and he calls Santino "I never was," and what does he call him? I think he calls him old news or something. I forget what he says though. But that he tells him that he doesn't have the dragon has lost like his smoke. I forget what he said. It's out of smoke, like he's puffing out smoke, like the dragon smoke's blown out. No, he's breathing in smoke. It's like something like that. It sounds like a cigarette reference. Then Ricky Steamboat says that he still has the fire and he's gonna accompany Santino to his match with Wade Barrett. Then Randy Orton gets interviewed. He talks about how he's gonna win the Rumble. He talks about how he's not happy that he says that Sheamus is a former Royal Rumble winner, because I think it was Matt Striker that was interviewing him. No, I forget which one it was, but he says he's not happy that Santino, that he mentioned that Sheamus won the Royal Rumble, but that Randy Orton didn't. The 3MB come up, announced that they're going to be in the Royal Rumble. Randy Orton says that he's going to face one of them tonight. Then he chooses to face Heath Slater, and that he's going to, after this, he won't be playing the air guitar, he'll be playing the harp. They don't even know what he's talking about. And then we get Team Hell No versus Team Road Scholars. It was a good tag team match. I do like that they're getting the tag teams over, and I know these guys have many matches, but I think I actually like these teams. I kind of want the feud to keep going, so I don't mind it. What happens is Bryan gets dominated a lot. Then Kane comes in, gets his hot tag, and during this match, Cody and Sandow said that Dynamite had a goat face, I should mention. Then Kane tags Bryan back in, hits it like a flying knee on him. Then Bryan, when he normally when he climbs the top turnbuckle, then he flips it, and this time when he flipped, he hurt his knee. So then they really went to work on that knee. But and then Kane, after so many times, Kane comes in, attacks Sandow. Rhodes drop kicks Kane while he's outside the ring. Bryan tries to roll up Cody for the win, but fails, and Cody hits the Crossroads for the win, giving Team World Scholars a victory over the tag team champions. I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to say that this could lead them to a tag title shot. because I've been saying it for months. But I'm not gonna complain that they haven't heard him because I do like Team Hell No and they do all over with the crowd, so that's why I'm not complaining about it. Then, uh, then we get then it shows the John Cena Dolph Ziggler match again. Then Randy Orton's backstage going to his match with Heath Slater. We get a WWEshop.com ad, and it shows like the warrior, like a warrior, then the Celtic warrior. It shows like the Nation, Cena Nation, the Brawl, the Brahma Bull, the Rock. It advertises the WWEshop.com. Then we get Heath Slater with Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Now, actually, wait. I actually wanted to say something that I forgot to mention when I wrote this down. What the fuck's going on with this 3MB shit? Like, I like the way when it started out. Because Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal were getting noticed. You were getting those guys on TV. But then as it just continued, it's just a piece of shit. They're a fucking joke. Drew McIntyre, I'm gonna get a video of this eventually, comes in. He's a star. He was like a star. Now he's a joke. Jinder Mahal, he wasn't the greatest when he came in, but he did have a good gimmick. They didn't use him as well as they should have, but now he's a joke. Heath Slater's a joke his whole fucking career, okay? I'm gonna talk about it more in a different video, not now, but I'm just gonna, it just turned into a joke. Yeah, but Orton and Slater have a match. 3MB, Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal tried to get involved, but they couldn't. But then Heath Slater did get a drop kick, started dominating the match a little bit. Then what happened was Orton hits the eventually does his comeback, hits the RKO at Heath Slater for the win. Then RKO's McIntyre Mahal makes the stable look weak. Then Orton does this. I don't do it right, but who cares? Then we get Wade Barrett versus Santino Marella with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Barrett wins with the bullhammer. That's really all that happened. He tries to hit it on Steamboat, but he sees him coming and takes his because he was wearing a tuxedo, takes the jacket off and goes to fight him, but Wade Barrett leaves. So I don't think it's leaning into anything. But if it is, I'm thinking WrestleMania Intercontinental title match. Barrett wins there, but I don't think it's really leading to anything. And I think that was just a one night only thing. Then we get a Sheamus interview. He says that he also is going to win the Royal Rumble again this year, and I think he said he doubted that he was going to win. Then he ran into 3MB. Then he says that you all can see, like, if you all can last the last of the blow kick, can send Danny Boy with me. Pretty much challenges them to a match. Then we get the Great Khali with Hornswoggle and Natalya versus Antonio Cesaro with The Miz on commentary. I want to say this. It wasn't a Raw match. It wasn't really a match. It was the same thing they had on main event. It wasn't a bad match, though, because Cesaro does have some talent. If you could get a good match out of the Great Khali, you have talent. Like, Cesaro got a good match out of the Khali. Brad Maddox got a good match out of the Great Khali. Yeah, that's my comment right there. But I think they wanted to show this match because of the way, because Cesaro, when he beat him on main event and maintained the United States title, he hit the neutralizer. But I think they're assuming not many people watch main event because it's a new thing, and not many people have the channel. Because I know a Suicide Dive Wrestling, a YouTube guy that I watch, doesn't have that channel, so he can't see it. So they wanted to put it on there so they could see that, because Raw is a popular show, and everyone's gonna remember it now that Cesaro gave the neutralizer to the Great Khali. And I'm thinking Miz and Cesaro are gonna have a feud now. I'm fine with that. I'm thinking probably Miz is gonna go over and win the United States title. I'm fine with that. Then Paul Heyman is backstage talking about the WWE Champion CM Punk. Brad Maddox says he's gonna help him because, like, his referee T-shirt's in there, and that, and he can throw on his referee and make sure Punk retains the title, but Payman denies and tells him to get out of his life. Then we get Sheamus versus Jinder Mahal with Drew McIntyre and Heath Slater. Doing this, it shows the bullying campaign that they did before. Not much. It was a match. It's pretty much the same thing as the Heath Slater Randy Orton match, except there was ass grab in this match by Jinder Mahal. So, yeah. But I will mention that he hit the blow kick on all of them, but McIntyre, he doesn't really hit the blow kick. He does a big boot. He doesn't actually do the blow kick. Then it shows all the build up for the TLC match between CM Punk and Ryback. Everything that they've been doing lately. Then it shows the John Cena Dolph Ziggler match again. Then it's CM Punk with Paul Heyman defending the WWE Championship against Ryback in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. Now, going into this match, I was thinking that Ryback was just going to, pretty much the same thing as he did to him at Hell in a Cell. He was just going to dominate Punk until something happened. But that's not what happened. I think, honestly, this is the best match that Ryback has ever had. Because Ryback can hold a good match if he wants to. But, people say that, but I think he actually held a pretty good match here. He used the steps, he used the tables, he used the chairs. Punk even got some offense in. I think they did that because they wanted to make Punk look strong going into these guys look strong if they were going to face The Rock at the Royal Rumble. He did a springboard knee. Punk hit him with the chair a couple times. He bounced his head off the steps. CM Punk got some offense in. That's good. But Ryback got more in though, but that's fine. Ryback did the power bombs. He hits him with the steps, like I said before. Throws him into the barricade. Then, eventually, Ryback goes for the shell shock, but Punk gets out of the ring. And then, Ryback goes to, I think, spear him through the barricade. But there's, a table set up where he's about to spear him. So he goes through the table. Then, CM Punk dominates him a little bit. But then Ryback tips and Ryback actually goes to grab the title. Ryback throws Punk into the ladder, and the ladder gets damaged. Punk does knees to Ryback, trying to fix that ladder, but Ryback throws Punk, and then Punk climbs it. Ryback throws Punk through a table that's set up outside, then grabs a ladder, climbs it. He's about to grab the title until the Shield comes out, and the lights go out. Then when the lights come back on, the Shield, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, members of the Shield, are up on the ladder, punching Ryback. Ryback fights him off, even Roman Reigns when he gets in the ring. But eventually they beat him with chairs. They attack him. Then they give him that triple power bomb through a table that's on the steel steps. The bottom row of the steel steps. Then CM Punk gets up and grabs his title and wins. So that kind of proves that he's behind the Shield. But I think they gotta kind of drop that angle now because The Rock really doesn't have anything to do with the Shield. And now I think he's just gonna feud with Rock and nothing's gonna happen now. Or the Shield could cost the Rock. They could say that this is an injustice. Why does The Rock get a title match if he hasn't been here? If he only had one match last year, they could do that. Then CM Punk gets interviewed, and he said that he's not behind the Shield, and he's not behind Brad Maddox. And then since The Rock's coming back, he's gonna go out there before The Rock comes out and cut a good old pipe bomb. Then we get Team Hell No backstage. They're arguing about the tag match loss, and then Vicky Guerrero comes up and says that what's his name? Dr. Sampson, I think his name is. that his name? I don't see him that often. I can't remember. Dr. Anderson. It's Dr. Sampson, Dr. Anderson, whatever you want to call it. He said he's gonna give Brian and Kane a 4-month evaluation, and they're arguing, and he said that Kane's arguing that he's a monster, and Brian's arguing that he's a nerd. They argue, and then Brian says yes, he's a monster. No, and then Kane says yes, he's a nerd. No, he's a monster. So then they switch arguments, and I think that's funny. Then, oh no, wait. It shows the World Heavyweight Championship match from New Year's Eve when Ricardo Rodriguez fought Big Show. I'm gonna actually get my thoughts out on this. I think they did this for 2 reasons. Well, actually, for only really 1 reason. Because the TLC pay-per-view, Del Rio turned face. Then, tribute to the troops, and then the next night he was a face still. Tribute to the troops, he was a heel. And then, well, the Christmas Eve Raw, he was a heel because he ran over Santa Claus. But it was an accident, so wasn't really any real proof. So then I think they did that match so they could confirm what Del Rio was. Because I think when Del Rio helped Ricardo Rodriguez, that proved he was a face. Because he always treated Ricardo like trash. And I don't think that's going to happen now that he's a face. But now, I think this is also going to be the world title match on Raw. Because on SmackDown, Big Show and Del Rio and Alberto Del Rio are going to have a match. And I think Del Rio is probably going to win that match somehow. And so that he can have a world title match against Big Show at the Rumble. And that match probably won't be the longest match ever. Just because I don't think it's going to be the longest match ever. Then, that's why I think they're doing this. So then we get Kofi Kingston versus Big Show. Kofi goes to punch him in the corner. Big Show just hits his right hand and wins. Because the ref ordered him back. I was worried about this, that Kofi was going to get fucked over again. Hope Kofi better not get fucked over again. Because Kofi Kingston had that main event push when he was facing Randy Orton. Then he got fucked over by Randy Orton, like I said before in my TLC 2009 review. Now he's now he's probably gonna fucked over by Wade Barrett, which Wade Barrett's a great talent, and I don't want to say that. So don't fuck Kofi over again. Then it shows CM Punk's heel turn from the 1000th episode of Raw. I've talked about it already, but I'm gonna say it again. What happened was Cena was cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase that night, and then Big Show attacked Cena. The Rock came out and attacked Big Show, spine-busted him, went for the people's elbow. Punk did a springboard clothesline, hits the go to sleep of The Rock, showing that he's a heel. Then we have and then it shows the 20th anniversary of Raw ad. I also should mention, by the way, that the commentators for this show were Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler. I forgot to mention that. Then we get The Rock returns. Now, before he actually comes out, CM Punk comes out. And he comes out, he says that we don't really know what a pipe bomb is. So he has to explain what a pipe bomb is. Because and a pipe bomb is like the truth. Because when we had the Raw Roulette Raw, he was known as the voice of the voiceless that night. He talked about what he wanted, and he became like an anti-hero. This is exactly what this isn't exactly, but this is what I'm implying it. But then he said he meant those things, except the part about ice cream bars, because all you fatties out there don't need any more ice cream. I thought that was hilarious when he said that. Then he said that that the people in the locker room, me, the clowns on the announce table, there's a glass dome, and you can't break that glass dome. and he didn't like the way things were going, so he had a choice. He could have sucked it up, he could have stayed, or he could have or but he made a decision, or he could have left. Actually, I think he said, but then he made a decision. He decided to talk about what he wanted. And like I said, you meant all those things. Then he said that if you don't get over with the WWE universe, you become nothing. Because the, John Cena gets title shot after title shot after title shot when he had the worst year of his life last year. Daniel Bryan, a submission specialist, an awesome wrestler, has to use catchphrases. Brodus Clay has to dance with all the kids with those greasy fingers. He says that why is little Jimmy on Raw more than a workhorse like Tyson Kidd? I think that was awesome. Then he says that people have crybaby stories, and that they say that they do it for you. Punk doesn't do it for them. He also said that he what else was it? That when he was that people say that he's the best WWE champion of the modern era. He says that is false. He is the greatest champion ever. He's had because if when Bruno Sammartino was there, he would have held the title for 30 years. That he's had matches, grueling matches like the TLC match, you know all the matches he had this year. That guys like Hulk Hogan would take was like 30 years of a title reign, like for guys like Hulk Hogan. He also says that Shawn Michaels on his Hall of Fame speech said that he did it for them. Edge in his Hall of Fame speech said that he did it for them. He also said that he is a bad guy, and he never did it for them. He only did it for himself. Then they tell him that he has to go to commercial, and he says he's going to talk during commercial, which of course he does. He also says that when he beat Alberto Del Rio for the WWE Championship, he not only beat him, he beat the system. Then eventually the Rock comes out. He says that he wanted to watch that promo because he wanted to see what he was dealing with at the Rumble, and he says that he says that he's not the voice of the voiceless. When the people say something, they mean it. He says that CM Punk doesn't matter, but Punk says that he matters. He says that it doesn't matter if you matter, and I thought that was funny. He says like a bunch of things. He went out on Punk. He got a good promo on him. He said like a catchphrase that the fans chanted. I didn't remember what it was because I didn't chant it. But he also said that he's back, and he's back to be the WWE champion. And he wants to be and to stop Punk. I doubt it was to stop Punk because Punk wasn't really that big when he came back. Like, he was big, but not as big as he is right now. And he says that he is the greatest WWE champion ever. Good matches, but he's just become a big jerk when he holds that title. Then he says that he said, oh, he also and then he says that he can't wait that CM Punk's afraid of 20 days because now it's 18 because that's the day the Rock's gonna win the WWE Championship. Then after Rock's done talking, CM Punk says that anytime the Rock comes in this company, whether it's like Santa Claus, 1 day a year, 365, WrestleMania, 20 days, he's gonna kick the Rock's ass. Then the Rock says that when he turned heel, you hurt the Rock, you embarrassed the Rock, and you humiliated the Rock. So he's gonna hurt him, and he's gonna take his title, and CM Punk's not gonna stop him. He gives him the Rock bottom and holds the title up in the air, and that was it. So that was an awesome Raw. Well, it wasn't an awesome Raw actually. They had some good things, like they had the Cena Dolph match was good. The tag team match wasn't bad. The TLC match was good. The Then the Rock Punk promo was good. I'm expecting some great promos out of them. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention that the Rock says that he needs to CM Punk has to get a tattoo of candy on like his left ass and a tattoo of his foot on the other ass, and says that he kicked his candy ass. So yeah, I wanted to mention that. But that was funny stuff. It got gay a little bit, but who cares? Um, that was a good promo by The Rock. I'm impressed. I'm not impressed. I know The Rock cut a promo like that. But these guys are gonna have good promos going into the Rumble. I think they're gonna have a little bit better promos though. Like the promo they had good was awesome. But like going into the Royal Rumble, right? I think CM Punk will have a little bit more retaliation. I wouldn't change a thing that what he said tonight though, but I think they wanted to have a Rock talk a lot because because he hasn't been around in a while, and I don't think the Rock's gonna win the title at the Rumble. I think Punk's gonna win because he has ever since the Rock came back, he's won every match he's been in, so it's over. Well, like so he needs to lose a match at some point, like just like Brock Lesnar, he lost the match, his first match, he came back. But that's pretty much it, guys. I will be back later to review main event. I'm gonna review the and if you want to watch it, it's gonna be Sheamus versus Ziggler probably with AJ Lee and Big E Langston at ringside. But that's pretty much it, guys. Good Raw. Definitely check it. Check the stuff I would recommend you check out is the tag team match between Team Hell No and Team Road Scholars. The Cena Dolph match and Cena's promo and their promo together. The TLC match, and I would check out the Rock Punk promo. That's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna say peace out today.